What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Before we get into today's video, there's only like a day or so left for the Bellac giveaway. I don't know when this video is going up, but it ends on October 1st at midnight. So on October 1st at midnight, we're cutting it off. You can still buy stuff, obviously, please do. But the Bellac giveaway will be over. So any purchase, so if you buy a key tag, a t-shirt, a hat, we got tons of, or a couple different variations of t-shirts, got tons of key tags, stickers, hats available. But even if you hit me up, like people have bought fuel systems, turbo kits, wheels, all that stuff gets you entered. It just gets you more entries. So every dollar you spend gets you an entry into the Bellac giveaway. Right now, merch is worth extra. So if you buy merch, you're getting extra entries. But let's get into today's video. All right, so after my last video, I'm sure everybody is wondering if I've actually sold my S550 or if I'm keeping the S550 and building the new race car, which the new race car, street car, ice cream getter will be announced in the next video or two. We got a lot of stuff going on right now. We're supposed to go to FL2K. We're supposed to be leaving on Tuesday, and they're going through Hurricane Ian right now, which it was actually supposed to hit the Bradenton, Tampa area really, really bad, but they kind of dodged a bullet and it didn't hit them as bad as it was supposed to. I mean, it's still pretty bad, but it didn't hit them as bad as it was supposed to. Like Fort Myers and Naples and those places got it the worst. But so far, as of right this second as I'm filming, FL2K is still a go, which means we're leaving, I think, on Tuesday. So just to circle back around, the car was down for a long time after we popped a head gasket, like, oh my gosh, I think that was over 2 years ago now. It was a long time ago. So I've said this like 1,000 times, but anyways, the build got crazy. I went absolutely insane. The build ended up taking like a year and a couple months because of how many changes we made. We got the car painted, straight axle, baddest RPG engine you can buy, custom turbo kit, tube front end. I mean, it was insane. I did so much at once, and that's what took the build so long. But then we got the car running. We literally scrambled, made it to TX2K. Sorry, a little bouncy. Literally scrambled. Somehow Joe and I pulled it off, made it to TX2K. Hurt the car there, fixed it, went some rounds, went to the semis, didn't ever turn the car up because it was literally, I mean, we put a brand new engine and trans in it literally the week before, and then I put another brand new trans in it during TX2K. So, didn't really turn up the car. Then Joe and I waited a couple weeks. We added some sensors and a couple other things, get some more data, some shock sensors, wheel speed sensor, and one other sensor, I can't remember, but so that we could get some better data so we could adjust the car, because we were having trouble with, or we knew we were gonna have trouble when we started turning the car up with suspension and stuff, and the more data the better, you know. So we go to Oklahoma and we just keep striking the tires. The track wasn't that great, but we were turning the car down, adjusting suspension, and nothing was happening. So I had Joe and Brady come over, and they plotted the car. Brady has the software, Joe's got the scales, plotted the car, figured out that we can't get pretty much enough length in the upper control arms. They were in the wrong position. So I waited a while to fix them because I was kind of over racing at the moment. I was overspending money on the car. You know, I was building the car for a year and a half, you know, spent, oh gosh, I don't even want to know, easily 140, 150 in the past year on it, not even counting the other setups. But you know, it got a full paint job. You know, it got a tube front end, it got a super nice, you know, chromoly 9-inch with the strange Ultra Pro center section or Ultra center section, whatever, you know, 40 gun drilled, you know, 40 axles. I mean, literally super nice stuff. I didn't skip on anything. You know, I got a badass Jose turbo, I got aluminum rod motor. I mean, just really expensive stuff, you know, Holly with all the sensors. Anyways, yeah, it all added up. It was a lot of money. So when I found out, you know, after plotting the car, that we were gonna have to literally pull the rear end out, cut all the bracketry off that was sent to us with the kit, and redo everything. I was kind of sour about it. I'm like, man, really? Like, I know racing cars, you spend a lot of money, and it's like, it's just you spend, you break, you rate, you know, that's just part of it. But I'd spent so much and done everything the right way, didn't cut any corners. I'm like, why am I still getting kicked in the teeth with this? So anyways, I was just kind of over it at the time, so I didn't want to fix the car right away. I was like, you know what, we got plenty of stuff to do at the shop. We're super busy. I got the websites growing. I'm trying to help other people get their stuff going. So let's put my car off to the side for now. So I put my car off to the side. Literally, it just kind of hung out in the garage. I drove it, you know, every week just to get some fuel through it, keep the injectors nice and clean and not get anything fucked up. So I just, you know, I drove it like once a week, made a couple videos on it, nothing crazy, just kind of really left the car alone. And everybody I know was commenting, we want to see the car race, we want to see the car race. And I just knew like there was no point. Like I needed to cut out the upper control arm brackets, put new torque boxes in, get longer control arms, and then I needed to put like the most badass shocks that we could put on it. That way, not that the AFCOs I have are good, but that way in future, I'm not like, okay, now we're really leaning on the car and the shock can't hold 18, 19, 2,000 horsepower. It could hold 15, 16, but the shock just can't tame, you know, 18, 1900 horsepower. It's a lot of horsepower. So I ordered Santufs, you know, over $2,000 for a set of rear shocks. You know, some of the nicest ones you can get. So I ordered those, and I want to say they took like 10 to 12 weeks to get. So I kind of just forgot about them, honestly. You know, I'd check in here and there with the guy, but I didn't want to bug them. I know they're crazy busy, just like everybody else, and it's hard to get parts. So I kind of just forgot about them. And then someone had this is so funny how this happened. I was messaging a guy on Instagram. We've talked before. We're actually like friends through Hellcat stuff. And he said something, and I was like, man, I want to sell this car, just jokingly. He's like, really? I've got someone that'd be interested. And I'm like, no way. Like, I was like, dude, I can't sell this car. Like, the amount of time, not even the money, because you never get your money back, right? Let's say I have 150, 160,000 into this car. That car's not worth $160,000, you know? Oh my God, why are you driving so slow? Got shit to do. I was like, no, you know, I was like, I can't sell it, whatever. So then he messaged me, he's like, no, he's like, the guy's serious. I was like, well, I'll send him the info on my car. Just, I wasn't even thinking about it. I know what you're thinking, the car's sold. Calm down, wait for the whole story. So I messaged him all the info on the car. I mean, it took me so long to type up everything that's done to this damn car. That's what I'm saying, is like, there's details I think I've never even told you guys about, because there's just so much going on that car that I've done. I'm telling you, like, I literally maybe I even overbuilt the car. I don't know. I just wanted to build like one of the baddest S550s that has a stock block in it, you know, stock casting block. It's not billet. It's not a bare block. It's, you know, it's a block out of a GT500, and all steel, all glass. Like, it's got factory glass, power windows, all factory panels except the hood. That's what I wanted to build. So that's what we set out to build. And so anyways, I mean, I'm making this list, and it is just freaking long as hell. Super long list. So I sent him the list and the pictures, and he's like, man, I'm sold. I'm gonna post my car for sale. And I'm like, wait, what? You're gonna do what? So, he had a super nice car for sale. It was a brand new car that made a lot of power, kind of like mine. So you need a certain buyer, right? Especially for like the amount that the car is worth. So he posted his car for sale, and I kind of knew, I'm like, man, I don't know if that car's gonna sell. Like, that's a certain type of person that, you know, buys that car. So anyways, we stayed in touch. About, I don't know, month and a half goes by, and COVID, shit. Just kidding. A month and a half goes by, the shocks show up. I'm like, cool, let's get this car rolling. Shocks show up. I order the torque boxes. They come in 2 days. I made a deal with Joe that if I bought the equipment, that he would do the labor for free. So I went out and bought the bender, and you know, he bought the dies and stuff. We kind of just made like a little deal because we need one for other projects. So it worked out. He probably owes me ice cream, honestly. I don't owe him shit. So anyways, I'm in like full let's fix the car mode. So Joe's finishing up Huffman's car, which I should have done a video on it, but I wish I would have. But anyways, his is a 04 Cobra, super nice car. He's did a built motor, single turbo 400 deal. Joe built a badass custom single kit for it. It looks so sick. And I sold him like a lot of the parts for the car. It's really badass build. It's almost done actually. So maybe when it's done, we'll go do a video on it. Anyways, he was finishing up Huffman's car. So once Huffman's car was done, my car was gonna go over and we're gonna fix the rear end. So we were waiting on the freaking bender forever. Waited like another 3 or 4 weeks when they said it was in stock. So I'm like, whatever. So then the bender finally shows up. I'm like, cool, and go get my car worked on. Well, Joe had ordered the dies, you know, for the right size pipe that we needed. And of course, the friggin' dies take another 2 to 3 weeks. So, I mean, now we're talking like way down the road. Like, what the heck, man? I was ready to fix the car, get back to racing. Because Joe said, he's like, man, I could probably fix this in like a day or two if I don't have a ton of stuff going on. I kind of know exactly what I need to do and it shouldn't be that bad. So anyways, literally, I think like 3 weeks later, we get the dies. No lie. The dies are here. The bender's here. The torque box is here. The shocks are here. I was like, hey, Joe, I want to bring my car over. Let's get this done. Huffman's car is done. I bring the car over, and that same day, the guy that wanted to purchase my car hits me up and says, hey, I sold my car. I have the cash ready to go. What do you want for your car? And my heart kind of dropped at that point. Because I was like, shit. I was kind of sour. I wanted to sell the car. But, you know, now we're about to fix the car. This thing's going to be flying. I don't know if I want to sell it. Oh, shit. Here comes a big bump. So, if you guys don't know, I go to Joe's house for 2 things. Well, 3 things, I guess. Turbo kits, specifically downpipes, ice cream, and life advice. So I go to Joe's. I'm like, hey, and Joe had already known that someone had approached me about purchasing the Mustang. He already knew about this. And I go, hey, remember that guy I told you about that was talking about purchasing the car? He's like, yeah. I was like, he's ready to purchase it, cash in hand, ready to go. And it's a number that I'm comfortable with. It's a number he's comfortable with. He has the cash ready. Obviously, I'm not getting my money back, maybe getting half back. But, you know, you're not getting the time back, the millions of hours that we have in it. But anyways, so I go to Joe's and we talk about it. And we almost filmed him. Like, we should not film any of this conversation. This is not good. So I go over to Joe's. We talk it over and we pretty much decided on something. And it worked out for me, it worked out for Joe, and it worked out for this guy. So, did I sell the Mustang? The car that I've owned for almost 4 years this January, or this December, I will have owned 4 years. The car that I set the stock Gen 3 motor record in and held it for a while. The car that had the first Turbo 400 swap in a Gen 3. Yes, I sold the Mustang. So, before y'all kill me or throw me out, you know, wherever, there's a couple reasons why. So, probably, I would say, one of the main reasons is what I'm trying to do. I need something a lot lighter, but at the same time, safer. My car's light for an S550, which is great. But you go to a race and these guys are, you know, in these S197s, these Fox Spies, these SN95s. I mean, they're super light. And now, you know, there's a couple S550s that are starting to come out that are really light, you know, and they're set up like mine, straight axle, yada, yada, yada. Aftermarket ECU, super badass. There's some badass S550s coming out. And so while this is all going on, you know, I pay attention to all the builds. Maybe a lot of people, other people don't, but I like to know what other people are building. Like, I'm just, not that I'm nosy, I like to keep up with what everybody else is doing to know what it takes to get to that next level. And so the main reason is I needed a car with more cage, for safety reasons specifically, and I needed a lighter car. And so if I sent my car, I already had called and was gonna make an appointment in the winter time to 25.3 or 25.5 my car. I hadn't decided yet. But the problem is it's gonna add more weight back to the car. It's gonna be a lot more rigid chassis, you know, so you can throw a lot more at it. It's gonna be safer in case something ever happens. But the problem is it's gonna make the car heavier. And so then I'm back at square one with the car. It's like, okay, now I got all the safety stuff, you know, which the car needs, I will admit that. But now now the car's heavy and I've got to lean on the car that much more to go faster. So if you got a heavier car, that's great, but now you got to throw that much more power at that thing to go as fast as everybody else is going when they're not leaning on their cars and they're being a lot easier on them. So I knew I needed a lighter car, a car with a lot more chassis, you know, a lot more cage, bars, and that was probably like the main reason, because that S550, the way I built it, was literally, in my eyes, perfect. If you wanted to lose some weight, you could still do carbon doors, carbon trunk. You could still do Lexan front and rear, you know, to save some weight. Which, you know, with the new buyer, if he ends up putting, you know, a 750 cert cage in it or whatever he puts in it, you know, that's how he can pretty much combat the weight, is, you know, put carbon doors and Lexan. But, you know, some classes don't allow carbon doors and Lexan windows, and, you know, so you kind of have to like play the rules of like what classes you're trying to be in. TX2K, FL2K, Street Car Terror would be totally fine. So for those big races, it's totally fine. Just, it really depends what you're trying to do. The second reason is I've always wanted to compete at like the next level. I don't know if you guys watch a lot of like radial racing, but I've always wanted to do either some class type racing, you know, those, I don't know if you guys pay attention to like Ducks race, like the Sweet 16 and those types of races. You know, they got LDR and Pro 275, X275. Like, I really, really like the class type racing stuff. Obviously, I might not get into that. I'm just telling you what I like. I really like that stuff. I really, really love the no time stuff, the grudge scene. And then to get to the next level, I felt like I needed something lighter. There's a lot of fast cars in these street car classes. You've got Brett LaSala's brand new S197 build, his new one. That thing is way lighter than his other one, but it's got more cage. You know, it's got a lot more safety features, and it's a lot lighter, and it's like, you know, it's a whole new build. And so like his car is going to be probably one of the fastest cars in that street car class. You got Cletus's El Camino. It's a big block with twins. I mean, how do you compete with a cast block Coyote in a single turbo versus a big block with twins? Because they're not, you know, a lot of like local classes will kick out big block stuff and they'll put limits on twin turbo sizes, but FL2K, TX2K, Street Car Takeover, those races that we typically do, there's no rule against big blocks, and there's no max turbo size rule. You only get into that if you start doing the class racing, like the LDR, the X275, Pro 275. Like, they have certain weight limits, certain engine combinations, turbo combinations, nitrous, all that stuff. World Cup finals, they put you in certain classes if you have you know, if you have a big block or if you got twins at a certain size. So, but for the FL2K, the TX2K, the Street Car Tears, there's no rules against that. So it's a free-for-all. There's Rick Prospero. He's got a little green RX-7, super badass, big block with twins. Like, how do you compete? You know, I've got this little 302 cubic inch motor, and so does Brett. It's like, how do you compete with these guys that have big blocks, and you've got this tiny, you know, small block little Coyote deal? You have to be light. You just pretty much have to be light. So that's, you know, those are my main reasons for switching over. Like, obviously, I'd love to keep the Mustang, but I can't afford to keep that car and build the new one. I don't have funds like that. I'm sorry. Some people may think I do, but I really don't. Trust me. I'd love to. And the flip side of it, like campaigning 2 cars is, I don't even know how people do that. That's rough. You know, you got an issue going with one car, then the other car has an issue, and you're trying to work on both of them. I mean, it's insane. So, I did sell the Mustang. I'm sorry for anybody, you know, that's about to unfollow, unsubscribe, do whatever. But one thing to remember is that the new car is going to be essentially the same setup, just in a lot lighter car. And a lot more capable car too. Not that the S550 wasn't capable, but when you've got a car that has like a 650 cert, and you know it's been built by a true chassis shop, that thing is ready to just annihilate the 60 foot. So one last thing for everybody to remember, because I've had a few comments, which this is so funny. I don't do YouTube for monetization. I will tell you exactly how much I made last month. It was $487.10 off of YouTube. Okay? YouTube is not my only income. So when I like buy and sell cars and people get butthurt, I'm like, what do you care? Like, what? And why would I care what you think? Because YouTube's not paying my bills. I've got real jobs that pay my bills. So, and I think this next car is going to really expand Coyote Direct, because people are going to realize what the Coyote platform can do. There's a lot of people out there pushing it. I know people have commented. Guys, I know all the fast guys that have Coyotes, trust me. I know them all. I know Ghost, I know Momaki. I just don't count those two because they have billet blocks. They're in like a whole nother league. But like the Mike Reeches and Brett LaSalas and the Brian Cummins, like all these guys, you know, all these guys that have fast Coyotes, trust me, I know about them. I know about them. I'm just saying that with the platform that I have, it's a little bit larger, so I want to show people what these Coyotes can really do. I don't really feel like, I don't know if you guys know or not, but like in the LS world, it is a huge, huge deal, the stock block LS record. It's huge. Capizzi just reset it today at like 423 or something like that. And that thing is in a super nice lightweight roller. I want to say that car used to be like a LDR or Pro 275 roller before he had it. So it's in a super nice lightweight Fox, beautiful car, and he's trying to go as fast as he can on a stock block. So it's a stock casting block. Obviously it's sleeve, pistons, rods, you know, crank, whatever, heads, but it's a stock block. It's not aftermarket and it's not billet. And no one really does that in the Coyote stuff. There's a couple guys that do, but they keep the times to themselves. So I want to get out there and I want to show people what a stock cast block can do in a Coyote, because I think people are really missing out. The people that don't know about them. The people that know about them, like Brett LaSala's new car, it's insane the numbers it's already putting out, and they haven't even leaned on it. They're just getting to know the car. It's insane. It's insane. Like I said, there are some fast ones out there. I'm not saying I'm going to be the fastest, but I want to be up there with the fastest Coyotes, and I want to push this thing as hard as it can go. And this new car that's right there in the garage that I'd love to show you, but I'll show you next time, is ready to go. We're just waiting on, I'm not going to say we're waiting on, but I'll update you guys because we're going to start a whole build series on it. But for the people that are mad that I sold the Mustang, sorry about your luck. Move on, unsubscribe, whatever. We're going to go faster. We're going to do bigger things. Coyote Direct is going to grow. And I don't like to live in the past. So the one thing I am excited about is the new owner of the car. I still get to work on it. Like this weekend we're going to go testing because the car's still going to FL2K. We're still racing the car at FL2K. So I'm going to help him this weekend. We're going to go testing, and then I'm going to help him at FL2K. And I expect that car to fucking fly. So I'll be bringing content on the car actually over these next couple days. The testing and then going to the FL2K and all that stuff. When we get back from FL2K, that's probably when we'll announce the Bellac giveaway winner, because we have to send it to a third party and they do their thing. But anyways, videos are to come on the S550 because I still want to prove that car. That is the one thing that is driving me absolutely nuts, that I can't sleep at night, is that I haven't got to prove that car yet. All the building that Joe and I did, I want to prove that car, and we're going to go prove that thing hopefully next week at FL2K. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys out there. Hopefully you guys are excited for the new build. And if you're mad at me, well, comment down below. We'll see you guys on the next one.